Madden 26 is finally here, and as always, I'm going to show you my top 5 offensive playbooks for day 1 and help you find a playbook that you're going to feel comfortable in. But first, I want to start off by saying playbooks are absolutely cracked right now. There's some borderline custom playbooks. I don't know whose idea it was to just completely juice playbooks like this. I'm not really complaining. It was actually more so just hard for me to pick a playbook because I would say there's around 15 or so high tier playbooks. So when I only mention 5 playbooks, it's going to seem like I'm leaving a ton off because I'm leaving off about 10 high tier playbooks. So don't be offended if your playbook doesn't make the cut. There's just a ton of good ones to work with. With that being said, happy Madden season. Now let's get into it. The first playbook I'm going to go over is the Commanders. This is a very nice blend of meta formations along with off meta formations. Now, this is mainly a shotgun playbook. If you guys like to be under center, I would say you want to look elsewhere, even though I'll say that under center is really getting phased out in the NFL. So EA isn't really updating that. But I'm going to go through these shotgun formations and explain why I like them. So starting off with gun heavy, this is going to be a helpful formation down towards the goal line, so 5-yard line and in. I love using quarterback blast. This was something I used a ton out of the Saints playbook last year, and I think it'll probably be just as good this year. Next, we have go-go slot open. So we have a go-go formation in Madden. This is the only team playbook that has this formation. I think the shotgun playbook has it too. But this will be a fun formation to mess around in. It's unique to the Commanders playbook, so definitely check it out. And then we have normal Y off close. This was the best formation in the game last year. It did get slightly nerfed because of what they've done to speed outs. They're not as good this year. So this formation did take a hit, but it's still going to be very good. Don't get me wrong. The alignment's good. You have some good plays like cheap flat X post. Now let's talk about the heavy hitters. So bunch strong offset. This is going to be a very explosive gun bunch strong offset, but it is missing some plays, but it does also have some unique plays to it. So if you like to run an off meta version of things that are meta formations, basically, this will be worth a look. And it's the same with bunch tight end. So you get a bunch tight end, but unfortunately you're missing, the RPO bubble, the off tackle. So you're missing a lot of plays from this, but with that being said, it's still bunch tight end, and that's going to be a usable formation. Now we have a couple tight formations. We have gun tight, and then we have gun tight offset tight end. And then we have trips tight end. So you have a good version of everything. You have a trip set that's effective. You are missing a couple plays here. You don't have curl flat. You do have curl flat. My bad. You have curl flat and verticals, which is 2 of the best quick snap plays in the game. And then you have a couple good bunch formations, and then you have normal Y off close, and then you have some good off meta stuff like the go-go. So very good playbook. Before I get into the next playbook, I just want to quickly mention acemadden.com. I've helped over 10,000 players win more games over the past 7 years. And if you guys truly want to level up your game, I highly recommend riding with us and using our schemes. Becoming a member gives you access to everything that we put on the site for both college football and Madden. And then you also gain access to a private Discord server. So if you guys are in the middle of a game and you're struggling, you can always ask me questions or anybody else in there, and we'll do our best to help you out. So if you want to get better at the game, go join acemadden.com and you can use code ACE for 25% off on your membership. Let's get back into the video. Next up, we have the Vikings, which is probably going to be my day 1 offense. I'm not 100% locked in on it yet, but it's very likely going to be this playbook, and I'll explain why in a second. But we're actually going to start in single back because I do think this is one of the better under center playbooks. So you have deuce close, you have wing tight, you have wing flex close, you have wing close, bunch X nasty. I think this is going to be very good against mid blitz this year. So you have crack toss, you also have wide zone weak. Look to use these against mid blitz. I think the blocking is going to be really good against that. You have a tight doubles, a tight Y off, and a trips. So a ton of good single back formations. You also have some I form formations to work with, and then strong close and weak close. So overall, I would say that it's one of the better under center playbooks. Now, the main reason that you would use this playbook is for bunch tight end. This is one of the best bunch tight ends in the game, and I would say it's mainly because of this play, cheat tight end hitch halfback seam, which is an absolutely cracked play, and I'll do a breakdown on it at some point, definitely in the ebook when I drop that. But then you get other cheat motion plays too, like cheat H out. You get the RPO alert bubble, if I can find it. There we go, right there. Triple out, PA boot over, X spot, PA verticals, whips, inside cross, tight end corner. So you get pretty much everything you need. You don't get off tackle, but in my opinion, RPO alert bubble is better than off tackle, especially against mid blitz. So just a little tip for you guys. And then we have tight Y off, which is my baby. This is always my comfort formation. You get the tight end corner, flood drive. Let's see, we get double shot, deep crossers. These are unique to the Vikings playbook. And overall, this is a very good formation. And I'll do a breakdown on this as well. I always do that. We don't get those auto motion plays that we talked about in the Saints last year, but I'm okay with that because of how we're going to be running it with bunch tight end. But then we also get tight Y off weak to complement those other formations. You get spot Y middle, smash Y pivot, slot cross, which is one of my favorite plays. This play is absolutely cracked. You get duo. I forgot to mention that. You get duo in these tight Y offs, which is a very good shotgun run. So that's another factor that plays into me using the Vikings playbook. You get tight flex weak. And then I think Trey opens pretty good. I think clear out rub return is a very good play. So you're only missing an elite trips formation with Vikings, but you have a very good bunch. You have some good compression here. And then I haven't even mentioned this. You have a slot, which is a very good a slot. I'll be talking about this probably in the ebook as well. You could probably run some 2-1-2 bunch tight end audible to this. We'll see. That's something that C. Vasty mentioned to me, and I think it's a good idea. Then you also have bunch spread nasty. Forgot to mention this one as well. So very good playbook. This is likely going to be my day one offense. Next, we have the Chargers playbook, which is kind of borderline getting into custom playbook territory. This has pretty much everything you need. So first of all, let's talk about split T, unique formation. This is going to be good down towards the goal line as well. But really the main reason for using Chargers would be, first off, you get normal Y off close. Again, one of the best formations last year. It'll be good again this year. You get Y off trips close, which is basically U trips. So yes, you get U trips in this playbook as well. U trips is actually available in a ton of playbooks now. It's not just Patriots anymore, or I guess Bills had it too. You get trips tight end. So you get two really good trips formations. You get bunch strong offset, and you have pretty much all the plays you need in this one. You have flood, you have dagger, you have corner strike, you have duo, and then you have tight offset tight end. So you have some compression. 0-1 trap is always a good play out of this. And you have good passing plays as well, PA seams. And that's pretty much the main reasons you'd be wanting to use it. Bunch X nasty can be usable along with bunch spread. But I mean, it doesn't get much better, guys. You have U trips, trips tight end, bunch strong, tight offset. Like, it's a very good playbook. You're going to see a ton of pro players using this one. But you're going to see in a second, we have two more playbooks that are going to be heavily used by pro players as well. Next up, we have the Jags playbook, which is extremely loaded. This is a very, very good playbook. You're going to see pro players in this one. So first off, you have doubles flex Y off close. It's very similar to normal Y off close, just some minor differences, different plays, but some similar plays too. So that's going to be a good formation for you. You have bunch spread nasty, bunch wide nasty, bunch X nasty, bunch tight end. This is one of the best bunch tight ends as well. You do get halfback off tackle instead of the RPO alert bubble. So you don't get both of them, sadly. But you do get this cheat tight end hitch halfback seam. Very good play. Cheat H out. PA boot over. You get some other cheat motion plays like motion divide, motion slot flood, whips. So again, very good bunch tight end. You also get Y off trio close, which is a new formation. If you play college football, you saw it there as well. You get tight Y off weak. I don't know if this is the good one though. Yeah, this probably won't be that good. Post wheel drag could be a good play. Tight doubles. This is going to be an insanely good formation. You're going to see pro players in this one. I guarantee it. You get motion cross halfback sneak. You get that short post. Cross wheels, one of the best quick snap plays. You get cluster halfback strong. This motion mesh rewind kind of caught my eye with that motion angle post. Trips tight end. You get curl flat, you get verticals, two good quick snap plays. Motion Z spot, that might be a short post from the outside receiver as well. So this playbook's absolutely loaded. You get pretty much everything. The only thing you're kind of missing is like a bunch strong or something, but that's fine. Honestly, you have plenty here to work with, and moving the ball is going to be easy out of this playbook. Lastly, we have the Bears playbook, which is going to be extremely popular among pro players. It's not exactly my cup of tea personally. I would actually prefer the Jags over this playbook. But the top three playbooks that I mentioned in this video are all kind of interchangeable, whatever's your flavor, basically. But I'm going to explain why this playbook's good. So first of all, you get pretty much a full normal Y off close. We've talked about this formation already. You are missing some auto motion plays, but for the most part, you have everything you need. Then you have Y off trips. And the reason this is good is because you have halfback direct snap, which is extremely helpful to have anywhere on the field, really. But you also get RPO read Y flat, which is good again. You know, the coaching adjustments have made it so it's a little bit worse, but it's still going to be very useful against noobs. Y off trips weak. This will be helpful for a quick fork zig. You get a very good red zone play here. Y off trio weak. I mean, there's some crazy motions going on here. Have not touched this formation, but I can see this being very good. Like sticking up, this play is going to be crazy good. And I'm curious about these motion plays as well. Bunch X nasty. This is a diabolical bunch X nasty. You get some crazy cheat motions going on. You're going to see a ton of this, in my opinion. Bunch spread. You get trips. Not exactly the best trips, actually, so you're probably not going to use this. Trips tight end flex. This is one that you'll definitely use. Motion Y post, one of the most popular plays from last year. Let me see if we have a direct snap in this. I don't think we do. Yeah, no direct snap here. You get a tight Y off weak. I don't think this is the good one, though. We have the good one in the Vikings playbook. And that's pretty much it. So the main reason I would say to use this one would be trips tight end flex, bunch X nasty, and then Y off trio weak. Those are your main formations. Then you get Y off trips for the direct snap, and then normal Y off close as well. So this playbook is very good. It's not my cup of tea, but you're going to see this playbook a ton, and check it out if you're into it. And just as a bonus playbook for those of you who like to be under center and just be extremely run heavy, check out the new two-back alternative playbook. This has a ton of under center formations for you to work with. And this was kind of a nice gesture by EA because they know that under center is getting phased out in the NFL, but there's people who kind of like to use these legacy formations. So it was nice for them to include a playbook that has all of these formations in it, really. So I'm just going to toggle through these, and you're just going to see that there are a ton of options. This is just I form. There's like 10 different I forms. You have a ton of different strongs. So if you want to get really crazy and toad on people and make sure that they feel uncomfortable with a run defense all game, this is one that you could look at. You just have like 30 different I form, strong, and weak formations. And then you do get some split back as well. Some far, some near. Couple pistol formations. And then you do get some shotgun. These are all going to be two-back shotgun formations. So it does kind of fit the theme of the book. And I just thought I'd mention this because it's cool. Like, it's a new alt playbook. We haven't had new alts in a while. And this is going to be a little bit better for some people who don't like to run pro-style offenses. And I just thought it was worth mentioning. Anyways, that's it for my top 5 offensive playbooks. Let me know in the comment section what offense you plan on running as soon as you get the game. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe because I post tips helping you get better at both college football and Madden. And then as always, if you really want to win games and take your game to the next level, go to acemadden.com and become a member. You'll gain access to everything that we have on there for both college football and Madden, and you'll start winning more games immediately. So go check that out. You can use code ACE for 25% off on your membership, and I'll see you guys in the next video.